Welcome back to BAS 121. We're on Chapter 10. We're looking at forecasting techniques and we're looking at identifying some trends. Now, we're looking for there might be some seasonal trends, there might be some cyclical trends, and then we're going to use some tools which we'll show you in later videos, like how to do moving averages, exponential smoothings, different kinds of regressions, etc., to help us identify and forecast, particularly when we have the trend data. For times, and trend data are called time series because they're normally based on time. So here it gives us the energy production. So they wanted us to graph by year, consumption, and you notice that all I did is highlight this and then hit control, highlight this, and I picked a scatter plot, but you could pick a different kind of plot. And we can visually see that this seems to have very steep up in here, then relatively flat, something going on in the 70s, and then up and bit. No real dramatic trend that we see, as opposed to things like gas and electric usage, which you notice are very seasonal. You'll notice in the wintertime when it gets cold, gas usage goes ways up. In the summertime tends to be a little bit. Now this is natural gas, so lots of ways you can look at data, and you're looking for seasonal trends, cyclical trends. Lots of times, cyclical trends are associated with economic indicators or stock market. Look at all sorts of different kinds of trends. Now, example 10.5 speaks to a specific one. How we can sort of take some of this trend data out. You often see this with stock market predictions. It's called a moving average. So to kind of smooth all these wild volatilities, and what this chart does is it shows you the actual and the forecast. So we went to tablet computer sales, and they gave us the weeks and the units sold. So to get this moving average was very simple. We just simply went to data analysis, moving average, and I put in the range, units sold, and then the interval, and I put the labels because I noticed I highlighted the labels. The interval is how much do you want to lag? Do you want to average the last 3 weeks, the last 4 weeks, the last 2 weeks? And then it just asked where do you want the output, and I asked for a chart, so it gave me a chart. Now, just so you know what it gave me all of this, all of these numbers and this graph. Now what I then did is I then put in this section in here called the forecast, thinking, okay, so week 4, if I had to forecast, I would take the moving average as of week 3. My week 5 forecast would be my moving average from week 4 on down. So if I had to predict week 18, my best prediction using this model would be the moving average of whatever it was the prior week. So I'd use a moving average of 68. So this is how to take a moving average of where I have time series information and I have volatility ups and downs, but I want to sort of smooth that volatility out and so that I can have a better predictor of the future or forecast without the wild volatilities. Now, some people don't like these charts because notice there is no, and you can see it here with the NAs, there is no moving average line for the first 2 or 3 weeks because we don't have 3 weeks worth of data, and we told it we wanted it to calculate a 3-week moving average, and if you don't have 3 weeks, the computer is going to come back and say NA. Some people don't like that, so the book mentions that sometimes they don't show that graph. But that's examples 10.4 and 10.5.